Hello everybody. Sorry for a little delay. So let's begin with today's webinar. And today's topic is, of course, SkyWay technology. And we're going to take a glimpse and then take a further look into the technology itself and why it's so great to witness such a development of this new generation second level string technology. So hold your hats and let's move on. Let's see what we have, what I have tonight to tell you, because the topic is very interesting and so much is there to share. Of course, I'm going to share the most important one, and then if you are looking into further information afterwards our webinar tonight, then of course you can ask me freely about any question you have, but mostly I recommend a book called 100 Questions and 100 Answers, where most of the answers for your different questions are there. So, anyway, let's move on. I hope, can you hear me? I hope you hear me. So, but about myself a little bit, my name is Mihkel. I'm from Estonia and I've been a SkyWay investor and then a developer of this technology and an active partner for SkyWay community for more than 4 years by now. And it's been an honor and a great pleasure to be on this journey with this amazing company. And of course, we have something to share with people. We have a opportunity for other folks as well. So therefore, I think it's absolutely amazing to know about this technology and then and to share it, of course. So let's begin. As you might realize by now, or maybe you don't know this yet, but about 100 years ago, people already pictured a future, as you can see on this slide right now. This was made about 100 years ago, this picture, and it described, or the title of this painting was 100 years into the future. So 100 years is here now, and as we can say, we have today this second level technology already existing here. Of course, many of different technologies have been tried as well and are in use. Those I will share you in a few minutes. But and the most important is that we will find the right technology that will fill all the conditions and fill all the necessities people have today in this fast developing world. But what else I want to share maybe when looking at this picture is what we can take into today from our everyday life is that we have a first level infrastructure already built all over the world, at least in developed cities, bigger cities, Paris, for example, Rome, St. Petersburg, Moscow, United States, bigger cities, New York, for example. They all have this first level infrastructure, tramways, buses, trains going between cities, cars, of course, and nowadays all these electrical, bicycles, scooters, skateboards, and so on. But what else these developed, these metropoles have in common is that they all have subways, so underground transportation as well. But the problems, the challenges only arise, the new challenges arise, more people are going to live in the cities or work there, therefore more cars, more room or more space is needed. But where can we get space in bigger cities? We just cannot tear down ancient buildings to build a new line of road there. So therefore, new solutions are needed, and then the need for them is growing rapidly. So second level, the only way to go next. But let's see what people have done already by year 2022. Of course, this is the SkyWay technology, and this is the one I'm recommending and sharing, that we should go to second level with this technology. But more about this very soon. Now, yes, this is what has already been done. So monorail on the right, that one is I think one of the most common ones. Well, it has this massive construction, or this massive elements attached to it. As you can see, already the track itself is very big and massive, and the supports under it, those are very big, and those are the same inside the cities as well. So I mean, not only on the river this big or this size, but as well as on the mainland. So monorail, yes. I think I have one more picture of it. Yeah, here it is. So here you can see it, how massive, and these supports have to be in or after every about 15 to 20 meters as well. So this is very often, if you compare it with SkyWay, this the first slide I showed you. I can show you again. Yes, this one here. These supports can be after every between 1 and 2 kilometers. So it's absolutely undescribable the difference between those two elements, because this is one main thing what catches the eyesight. Well, first one, of course, is the track, and you can get used to the track if it's like here on the left side. But if the supports are also after every 15 meters, then this will definitely not be the very well, like exciting maybe, because we want this freedom and great eyesight, of course, beautiful surroundings. But comparing with SkyWay now, of course, the speed is twice as well. SkyWay technology is twice as fast as monorail. So, well, up to 150 kilometers. Of course, inside the cities, it's quite impossible to reach these levels because we have these well, stations after every maybe hundreds of meters, maybe a few kilometers, and so on. And track length, of course, that one is also very important. That monorail has limited track length, but SkyWay is basically, and the bigger idea and the bigger concept is that we will SkyWay will build a transnet. It's called basically a connection or a network of different cities, different places, and all these are connected with the line. But other great thing about SkyWay is that it is not the driver itself is not necessary there, because it's autonomous self-driving vehicle, and it can be remotely controlled. And there are, of course, all these technological parts and well, these scanners and cameras and laser beams to collect the data from surroundings, and if there is any obstacle, for example, or whatever can get on the way, so to say, then it immediately stops and alerts the system. So it's very safe there for us as well. And the traffic interval is another thing. What is very great about SkyWay is well, basically the maximum what we can get out of the city. If you think about getting on board and then driving off to another station, or basically getting off the station, and then another model or another unibus or unicar will come, then the maximum difference or the minimum difference can be 3 seconds. After each 3 seconds, another unicar can leave the station. But of course, we have to think about the time that the people need to take to get on board and to get off board. So So that therefore it cannot be 3 seconds. It's definitely longer, but it's not minutes or tens of minutes of 5 minutes or 10 minutes or more, like we have today with subways or trains or trams, of course, and but those can be after. It depends on how much at that time, how big is the flow of people at the specific time, and therefore the system can calculate it, and it will send as many unibuses or unicars to the track as many as needed to service smoothly all the people there. So that's the main point I wanted to say. So very great point to calculate about using this technology, and therefore the number of passengers also grows rapidly comparing with monorail, for example, or other similar technologies. Yes, one picture of subway. This one is can be seen in Berlin, in Germany. Also, the supports have to be after each, 15, 20, 25 meters. And this one is like a tramway in China, just upside down. But if you think about the technology itself, then it's tramway. But now this slide also is very interesting because, let me think, let me recall. I'm recalling. Just a second, sorry. Cable car. Yes. Yes, I was recalling the name. I'm very sorry. I had it in my mind in 3 different languages, but not in English. So cable car, of course. And the thing about cable car is that the capsule or the cabin where people get inside or on board, that one is basically stewed or attached to the string or to the cable, and the cable moves. The model there is on the same spot all the time, but the cable moves, and therefore, as you can see on the right side, there's the orange wheel that one spins and then pulls the cable basically. And this is the technological part about this, but it's slow. It's about 20-25 kilometers per hour, and then there are other. It's expensive as well, but it's quite popular. I have seen it myself, at least in 3 different places. But and I know many governments want to construct it, but it's mostly it has all the attributes for tourism, so to say. But serving the network of transportation as efficiently as it has to or is needed at this current time, then it's not doing the job. Yes, this is the solution. Similar to the cable car, as you can see, but it has its own motor wheels, it has its own batteries, and then the electrical engine, so it moves by itself. And as you can see here on this slide, there are these elements in front of the nose and in the back of the tail, and those will attach to each other perfectly. So whatever reasons there should be so the one unicar will have to stop and cannot move further, then the other one can pull or lift it to the maintenance or station. Yes, so definitely new age, 21st century technology. The creator of it is Dr. Anatoli Yunitsky, and he has had this idea in his mind about 40 years, and even more, and then he has much more ideas. And 2015, at that year, the first construction started the first track, the building of first track started. And today we have demonstration certification centers. One is in Belarus and the other one is United Arab Emirates. And there are, well, altogether about 10 different tracks or lines and all these different models, but I will show you these pictures as well. Now let's see, why SkyWay? Well, of course, the innovation is the main thing, and that's basically slash to 21st century. So, and innovation is the motor wheels, as you can see on this slide, and there is a derailment system. If we lift it upside down, the track just imaginary, then it will stay there stiffly. It won't move anywhere or fall off. Here you can see as well. Well, this is the other track structure, different track. That's double rail, and here both of these sides can be used. We can, well, for example, the express line can go on top of the track, and then the unibus or unicar, which has to take many stations or do many stops along the way, that one goes underneath. So that's double efficiency again, comparing to with tramways or trains or even monorails, because monorail also can go only above the track, but this one can be used both sides. And of course, the string and the railhead and the track itself, it's basically a metal body frame. Inside there are pre-stressed strings. That's also, it's like a bridge. That's why these supports can be also after each few kilometers, not after every 20 meters like we are used to today by the technologies that are well built already. And then it's filled with special fillers. What else? We can take electricity, for example. We can take electricity, all these internet cables, whatever, lightning cables through the track structure itself as well. Yes, a few years ago I had chance to, it's almost 3 years actually now, the picture was taken in 2019 when the last EcoFest took place. Well, hopefully not last, but before Corona crisis and all this pandemics situation globally, then that one was the last one. But hopefully next year we will get the chance to go there again, because it's amazing. And I myself got chance to try with the Unicar, what you can see on the background there up high, and it was very great. All right, second point is that it's ecological, no direct CO2 level, well, exhaustions, because it uses electricity. Electricity can be well immersed from the sun, for example, with solar panels, which can be attached to the track structure itself as well, or wind turbines, both to the models and to the track structures. So yes, that's why it's quite great. That's the topic I was just telling you about. All right. This situation takes place in Japan, and it's an everyday normal situation. There are people or workers called pushers who push people to the subway, on the subway, and so the doors can close, and then the next group of people, the same thing. So if we get on board a little bit too early, then imagine how difficult it can be to get off the board in the next station. So bear that in mind when you travel in Japan. Then, of course, well, the urbanism or the people going to cities to live and work there and abandoning the countrysides, that's quite horrible, we can say, but of course the population grows rapidly as well. And then this causes new challenges for the world. And SkyWay absolutely brilliantly addresses these challenges. So that's why it's built as well, to change the world and to make it better to live and better to move, because tracks or the road is basically our it's like veins to our inside our body. It's veins to the economy, how fast we can take goods and cargo and people from one place to another. So wind resistance about 10 times less than with normal cars, mostly because of course of the shape of the body SkyWay models have. It's basically meant to cut the wind perfectly. And secondly, the screen effect is not happening when we are above the ground, 50 meters above the ground on the track structure. Then the wind can go perfectly beneath the model. And with cars we have their asphalt or normal road, and therefore it causes screen effect. All kinds of first level infrastructure problems, all these need maintenance, constant maintenance, and both in wintertime, in summertime, different regions have different situations, as you can see on the slides, but all this need massive amounts of income, funding, and yes, so SkyWay again is much simpler. Then here it is. Second level, there can be wind, there can be hot sun, there can be sandstorms or earthquakes even, or river flows or whatever. SkyWay remains above the ground, can transport both people and cargo. And then, of course, again, if you think about funding and constructing new roads, then this reminds us most immediately that, at least if I look these slides, then to me it reminds how many meters we have to dig on the left side on the slide, how many meters we have to dig underneath the ground, about 7 meters to fill it with special filler. Then the track structure itself, it has to hold. Then we have to maintenance about twice as often as with SkyWay. Then we have to construct a maintenance road next to the railroad there on the left picture again, and cover it with asphalt as well, and then the fences so the animals couldn't run or stay in front of the trains. And then of course all the bridges for both for animals, for people, and taking down the forest and so on and so on. And on the right side, that one is basically, if you go to Slovenia or in the center of the Europe or in Nordics, then this is a great sector of business. This exploding these mountains or making roads through the mountains. Huge amounts of billions of dollars each year. Now, let's see. But if you can take it directly with SkyWay from one point to another, we can avoid all these huge amounts and huge expenses. And we even have our self-driving helicopter, autonomous helicopter, which can take thousands of kilograms at the same time. Basically, this supports and can transport different parts of the technology, and then people, of course, and so on. So, future can be quite great if people want it and understand it. and let it come. Yes, and also rivers, not an obstacle as well. Yes, so more pictures, and this one in front of the picture, that one is called Unibike. That's 1 or 2 seats located inside it, and this one was one of the first models. Actually, these both were one of the first models of their kind and first prototypes. So this is also quite amazing how it all started. Just to remind it. And here we are today. The left side is already constructed. The 400-meter track is located in Sharjah in United Arab Emirates, and on the right side, that one should come because 2 other tracks are under construction at the moment. So those are design elements there. These supports, as I mentioned also before, they can be very beautiful. And in United Arab Emirates, if we want to construct and build there lines for commercial purposes, then those have to be beautiful. Yes, and this automated intelligence system, which is integrated and developed so to screen 360 degrees constantly to get and collect the data from surroundings, and then make choices if necessary. For example, emergency choices. If anybody comes in the way or anything, then it can stop or start backwarding and so on, so to keep people safe there. And yes, this one also already described to you. And if anything happens, so we cannot, Unibus stops there up high and another Unibus is not nearby or cannot come, then we have these straps which we can pull around our waist and shoulders and lift ourselves down with this technology, also developed by SkyWay team. So everything has been thought about, and it is safe to travel with it. And what is more even interesting, it's so amazing to see buildings and then the cars and people up above. So it's absolutely different. It's like going from 2D into 3D, 3 dimensions. And this man also demonstrated this getting down with this technology, and did it perfectly well. All right. And in the end, I always like to show this picture, because the pushers, if pushers wasn't enough, then this one takes place in India, for example, and in these tropical climates, developing countries. So therefore, I believe SkyWay is much safer. But all right, we will continue with these models and products next time. So this time I say thank you very much for coming, and I wish everybody a great evening and nice continuing week and weekend, and we will see you already.
Это абсолютно инновационный новый вид транспорта, который, в котором используется преднапряженная путевая структура, которая проходит над землей, на определенной высоте над землей. Соответственно, это дает много преимущества, которые я, в принципе, тоже могу рассказать, отвечая на ваши вопросы. Я особо хочу подчеркнуть, что если говорить о безопасности струнного транспорта, то он на порядок выше безопасности, если мы говорим касательно автомобильного транспорта или даже железнодорожного транспорта. Почему? Потому что, если вы посмотрите на линию струнного транспорта, вы увидите, что нет стрелок, нет пересечений. То есть весь грузовой поток идет один за одним. Значит, соответственно, у нас исключено столкновение, у нас исключены там те вещи, которые могут происходить на дорогах.
في دولة الإمارات وفي إمارة الشارقة تحديدا تم إنشاء شبكة تجريبية لنظام مواصلات عالي السرعة يعتمد على كبسولات كهربائية معلقة، حيث تتفوق هذه التقنية بالعديد من المزايا على حلول النقل الأخرى مثل الباصات والقطارات والمترو، من انخفاض في تكلفة البناء ومتطلبات أعمال الصيانة، كما يتيح التنقل بسرعة كبيرة تصل إلى 500 كيلومتر في الساعة.
في هذا النظام لا نحتاج إلى شق الطرق أو هدم المنازل كما نفعل لإنشاء البنى التحتية الأخرى للنقل، وهذا يمكننا من إنشاء نظام النقل على مسافة قريبة جدا من منازل الناس. إضافة إلى ذلك فإن حركة الكبسولات لا تحتاج إلى طاقة كبيرة، فهي تشبه إلى حد كبير السكك الحديدية.
ومن المتوقع أن تصل السرعة القصوى للنقل داخل المدن حوالي 120 كيلومتر في الساعة، ولكن يمكنه الوصول إلى 500 كيلومتر في الساعة للتنقلات بين المدن، كما يمكن نقل البضائع من خلال حاويات بطاقة تصل إلى 30 طنا وبسرعة تصل إلى 36 كيلومتر في الساعة.
بالنظر إلى ما نقوم به في إمارة الشارقة فإننا نتوقع قريبا إنشاء عدة مشاريع من هذا النوع في مدن الإمارة، ونحن نتطلع إلى البدء من مدينة خرفكان، حيث سيكون هذا المشروع للسفر في أرجاء المدينة. أما المرحلة الثانية والذي نقوم بدراسات هندسية عليه حاليا سيكون داخل مدينة الشارقة. أتمنى أن أرى هذا المشروع قريبا على أرض الواقع.
وقد بدأت شركة يوسكاي الشركة المصنعة بعمليات البناء في مشروع القطارات الهوائية المعلقة في مرحلته التجريبية بمجمع الشارقة للبحوث والتكنولوجيا والابتكار، حيث تم الانتهاء من المرحلة الاختبارية الأولى من المشروع، وبدأت العربات المعلقة بالعمل لمسافة قصيرة، كما يجري العمل على المرحلة التالية التي ستكون ضمن مسافات أطول، ليكون أول تطبيق عملي لهذا النوع من التنقل الحديث على مستوى المنطقة. عبد الله الزعبي، قناة الغد، إمارة الشارقة.
SkyWay's model is a network of futuristic driverless high-speed pods that ride around cities suspended from a shell track, or a steel track that is. Last month, the company opened a more than 1,300-foot test line in the United Arab Emirates. The test pods can carry up to 4 people in what is designed to feel like a first-class airline suite. The pods could currently go up to 93 miles per hour, but for safety reasons, they don't travel that fast along the test track. Sky says a fully implemented citywide network could support 10,000 passengers per hour, and the first system could start carrying passengers in 2024.
ഇത് ഷാർജ റിസർച്ച് ടെക്നോളജി ആൻഡ് ഇന്നോവേഷൻ പാർക്ക്. ഇവിടെ ഒരു പരീക്ഷണം നടക്കുകയാണ്. നാളത്തെ ലോകത്തിന്റെ യാത്രാരീതികളെ വലിയ തോതിൽ സ്വാധീനിക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന സ്കൈപോഡുകളുടെ സുരക്ഷാ പരിശോധനകൾ ഇവിടെ പുരോഗമിക്കുകയാണ്. സാമ്പ്രദായിക യാത്രാരീതികളെയെല്ലാം പൊളിച്ചടക്കാൻ പോകുന്ന ഭാവിയുടെ ചിത്രം ഇവിടെ നമുക്ക് ഇന്നേ കാണാം. വർത്തമാനകാലത്ത് നിന്നുകൊണ്ട് ഭൂമി തൊടാതെ മനുഷ്യൻ യാത്ര ചെയ്യുന്ന ആ ഭാവി കാലത്തെ നേരിട്ട് കാണിച്ചു തരികയാണ്
When you travel our port, we say that you are boarding the future. We are boarding the future with our system, because what we have in mobility, it is the key point. Mobility, it unites people. Mobility, it provides GDP growth, for example. Mobility, this is something what people are looking for. But what do we have now on the ground? We have outdated automobiles, heavy trucks with huge emission, allocation of land for asphalt, and huge accidental rate.
യുസ്കൈ ട്രാൻസ്പോർട്ട് എന്ന കമ്പനിയാണ് ഷാർജയുടെ ആകാശങ്ങളിൽ പാതയൊരുക്കാൻ ഒരുങ്ങുന്നത്. ഷാർജ സർക്കാരിന്റെ പൂർണ്ണ പിന്തുണയോടെയാണ് ഈ പരീക്ഷണങ്ങൾ ഇവിടെ പുരോഗമിക്കുന്നത്. വിവിധ രാജ്യങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നുള്ള വിദഗ്ധരാണ് പദ്ധതിയുടെ ഓരോ ഘട്ടവും സൂക്ഷ്മമായി ഇവിടെ വിലയിരുത്തുന്നത്.
Allocated in Sharjah Research Technology Innovation Park, that I would assume the best place for innovations, for innovation technologies, and we permanently feel the support from Sharjah Research Technology Innovation Park, and what is the main important, we feel support from His Highness Sheikh Sultan Al Qasimi, who is ruler of Sharjah, because he was personally involved in setting up this idea in Sharjah.
നിലവിൽ ഇവിടെയുള്ള 400 മീറ്റർ നീളമുള്ള ലൈൻ സജ്ജീകരിച്ചാണ് പരീക്ഷണങ്ങളെങ്കിലും മണിക്കൂറിൽ 150 കിലോമീറ്റർ വരെ വേഗതയിൽ സ്കൈപോഡിന് യാത്ര ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും. ഇതിനായി നീളമേറിയ പുതിയ ലൈനുകളുടെ നിർമ്മാണവും ഇവിടെ ഒരു ഭാഗത്ത് നടക്കുന്നുണ്ട്. അതീവ സുരക്ഷാ സംവിധാനങ്ങളാണ് ഈ വാഹനത്തിൽ സജ്ജീകരിച്ചിരിക്കുന്നത്. ഇതുതന്നെയാണ് ഇതിനെ മറ്റു യാത്രാ മാർഗങ്ങളിൽ നിന്നും വ്യത്യസ്തമാക്കുന്നത്.
Right now, here you have 400 meters line. Now under construction, 2 lines. Each line is 2.4 kilometers length. Again, it is test and certification line. And the first commercial project will be around maybe 6 kilometers line. And the Karfakan project, if it comes, it will be around 24 kilometers line. But we can build up to 100, 200 kilometers. And again, we can build passenger and container line as well.
യുഎഇയിൽ പരീക്ഷണം ആരംഭിച്ചപ്പോൾ കാലാവസ്ഥയുടെ പ്രത്യേകതയായിരുന്നു നേരിട്ട പ്രധാന വെല്ലുവിളിയെന്ന് ഓലെഗ് പറയുന്നു. പൊടിക്കാറ്റ് സ്കൈപോഡിന്റെ റെയിലിൽ മണൽ തങ്ങി നിൽക്കാൻ കാരണമാകും. ഇത് പോഡിനെ സുഗമമായ യാത്രയ്ക്ക് തടസ്സമാകുമെന്ന് മനസ്സിലാക്കിയ എഞ്ചിനീയേഴ്സ് വാഹനത്തിന് മുകളിൽ ശക്തിയുള്ള പ്രൊപ്പല്ലർ ഘടിപ്പിച്ചാണ് ആ പ്രതിസന്ധിക്ക് പരിഹാരം കണ്ടത്. യുഎഇയിലെ കനത്ത ചൂടിനെയും പൊടിക്കാറ്റിനെയും അതിജീവിക്കാനുള്ള സംവിധാനങ്ങളാണ് ഇന്ന് ഈ സ്കൈപോഡ്.
When we started our test operations, we found out a lot of challenges related to climate, dust, sand. For example, you can see powerful impellers on top of the vehicle. So we found out that rails become very dusty. That is why we had to have some impellers to blow off sand.
മനുഷ്യരെ വഹിച്ചുള്ള യാത്രകൾക്ക് മാത്രമല്ല, വലിയ നഗരങ്ങളെ ബന്ധിപ്പിച്ചുള്ള ചരക്കു നീക്കത്തിനും ഇത്തരം വാഹനങ്ങൾ ഉപയോഗിക്കാൻ സാധിക്കും. ജനസാന്ദ്രത കൂടിയ ഇന്ത്യ പോലെയുള്ള നഗരങ്ങൾക്ക് ചരക്കുകളുടെ വേഗത്തിലുള്ള കൈമാറ്റത്തിന് പരീക്ഷിക്കാവുന്ന വലിയ മാതൃക കൂടിയാണ് ഇത്തരം കോഡുകൾ.
Let's talk about India. In India, all roads are congested, and delivery of containers, it is very expensive exercise, by the way, because of this. So, and a lot of people were involved in this, like drivers and others. So, what we propose to build container line, we can build cross-continent, cross-subcontinent from Mumbai to Chennai line that will connect two coasts of India, for example. And then these containers, they will fly in the air with speed 150 kilometers per hour without any emission, without any human involvement.
ഈ പോഡിനുള്ളിൽ ആഡംബരങ്ങൾക്കും ഒട്ടും കുറവില്ല. വിമാനത്തിൽ എന്ന വണ്ണം ലഭിക്കുന്ന സൗകര്യങ്ങളാണ് ഇവിടെ യാത്രക്കാർക്കായി ഒരുങ്ങുന്നത്. താഴെ UAE-യുടെ മനോഹര കാഴ്ചകൾ കൺകുളിർക്കെ കണ്ട് അധികം വൈകാതെ തന്നെ സുഖകരമായി ഈ കുഞ്ഞൻ വണ്ടിയിൽ യാത്ര ചെയ്യാൻ സാധിക്കും. UAE-യിലെ യാത്രക്കാരുടെയും കാർഗോയുടെയും സഞ്ചാരത്തിന് സ്റ്റീൽ ചരടിൽ ബന്ധിപ്പിച്ച തൂങ്ങിക്കിടക്കുന്ന ഈ ഡ്രൈവറില്ലാ വാഹനം നാളെ വലിയ അത്ഭുതങ്ങൾ സൃഷ്ടിക്കുമെന്ന് ഉറപ്പാണ്.
Right now is literally the door to the future, because this is the VIP station replica behind me for the Skypods, which is going to be the future of the transportation, which is going to begin right here in the UAE. Come join me. Whenever it begins, it will start from Fujairah to Ras Al Khaimah, Umm Quwain, Ajman, Sharjah, Dubai, Abu Dhabi, covering all the 7 Emirates of the UAE. And who wouldn't want to ride this? So I'm all excited. Are you?
What we are dreaming about is having the line that will connect Delhi and Agra, and this will help to develop Indian tourist industry and to avoid a lot of deaths in traffic accidents.
Coming back to the UAE, when do you think we'll see the actual transportation in the city?
What I'm almost sure that we will ink the first commercial deal before the end of this year. And it means that we are planning around 2023 to have the first commercial line, operation line. Plus to this, we feel great interest from different companies, governments, in implementation our cargo and passenger solutions, transportation solutions in their countries. And I hope that we will go fast.
O companie din Belarus a găsit soluția pentru descongestionarea traficului în cele mai mari orașe din lume. Oamenii de știință au creat capsule suspendate care ar putea transporta atât pasageri cât și mărfuri în timp record cu emisii de carbon reduse. Capsulele ar putea atinge o viteză de până la 500 de km pe oră.
Un sistem de transport mai verde, mai ieftin, mai sigur și mai confortabil. Asta promit reprezentanții companiei Sky, care a început testarea primelor prototipuri în orașul Sharjah, situat la 30 de kilometri de Dubai. Sunt practic niște capsule suspendate de pasageri.
Testing 3 lines of different type of passenger and cargo trains. The transport solution of Sky meant to be very cost effective and it meant to support public transport and make it more efficient and effective.
Testarea se realizează pe o linie suspendată din oțel lungă de 400 de metri, inclusiv în timpul nopții. Capsulele de pasageri pot transporta până la 4 tone, în timp ce cele cargo permit transportul și a 48 de tone de produse. Pentru călătoriile în oraș, viteza maximă va fi de 150 de km pe oră, în timp ce pentru transport între orașe este testat un prototip de mare viteză care ar putea ajunge și la 500 de km pe oră. Sistemul nu va fi condus de mecanici sau piloți.
It's completely safe. We have implemented artificial intelligence system that monitors all these things.
Costul construirii unui kilometru de linie de transport se ridică la 10 milioane de dolari. Un oraș în care o astfel de rețea ar fi implementată ar putea transporta și 10.000 de pasageri într-o oră.
Die Autodichte in deutschen Städten, die nimmt zu. 451 Autos je 1000 Einwohner gibt es mittlerweile in den 25 größten Städten in Deutschland. Könnte so eine Schwebebahn eventuell Abhilfe schaffen, also helfen, das Verkehrschaos ein bisschen zu entlasten, zu dämpfen. Die Firma SkyWay hat diese Schwebebahn hier entwickelt. Erste Tests der fahrerlosen Hochgeschwindigkeitsgondel laufen derzeit in Dubai. Ein ausgeklügeltes Netz dieser Gondeln könnte so die Betreiber bis zu 10.000 Passagiere pro Stunde von A nach B transportieren.
I'm here in Sharjah taking one of the first looks at the new SkyPods, which could be the future of transport for the UAE. Have a look at this, it's just incredible. I'm here on one of the SkyPods, one of the first people to try this out. I'm in the VIP one right now. It's amazing and such incredible technology here as well. So fingers crossed we can see something like this in the UAE soon.
The main advantage that it is completely environmental friendly, so electrical driving, and we don't utilize land. I would say that this port is the state of the art in technical sense. We are giving mobility to people, and I think that this is very important. We want to ink first commercial contract before the end of this year, so 2023, 2024 we will be in the cities.